Pick a card, any card. Yep, you guessed it. You're a joker. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas. And today, I'm not only opening up my Supreme Camo playing cards by Bicycle, I'm also getting ready to break down, analyze, and truly dive in to the Week 13 drop list with y'all, where we're gonna look at the best items of the week to cop for resale, discover, and wake up the sleeper item of the week. Tell you guys what items to avoid and everything in between. So if you guys love Supreme and other streetwear related content, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the noti bell so you can stay up to date every single time I post and go live. I'm going to be going live this Thursday for Supreme Week 13. It's going to be a blast. We've also been watching Supreme skate videos after the drop. I believe we are up to Cherry, and people have really been liking that. So if you guys want to watch some skate videos after the drop, stick around on the SupThomas channel every Thursday. And with all that out of the way, let's get into it. All right, guys, we got good news and we got bad news. The good news is we have the partial drop list. The bad news is we don't have the Doc Martens collab pictures quite yet or the full drop list prices. So I'm going to try my best to avoid talking about prices at the beginning of this video. If we do happen to get the full drop list by the time I'm editing, I will, of course, put that on screen and look at Supreme news, because we should get the Doc Martens pictures today. Don't have them yet. It is what it is. We're just going to roll with it, and let's go over to the Week 13 drop list over on Supreme Community and see what people are voting on so far, because we at least know what's coming out, which is good. All right, Supreme Week 13 dropping May 22nd, 2025. Let's take a peek at some of these lower tier items. First up, the Chore plaid bell hat. Okay, we're rocking sort of a bucket hat plaid deal here with a little British spin on it. Something about the bell hat vibe screams British to me. Not sure if that's true, but Chore looks to be a good material for this hat if you're trying to stay out of the wet. I don't hate this hat at all, but probably for around 60 something bucks, it's definitely going to be a personal item, and that's totally fine. Now the camp cap, on the other hand, much nicer, way more wearable. A few of you guys have sent me some of your Gore-Tex and other waterproof hats in the rain, and it looks pretty useful. I think a Chore hat, while it doesn't say necessarily that it's waterproof, certainly would be better than freaking nothing, right? Supreme camp cap. Hey, I don't think this is too bad. Like the purple. Red is pretty nice too. Unlikely that it will resell or sell out. Cargo shorts. We do have Mossy Oak finally making its debut to fight against Real Tree. Look at that tag here on the back of the shorts. Supreme MFG New York, established 94. Interesting cut here with this circular crotch area. Tree bark registered camo on the pattern, and then some standard colors. Definitely solid summer shorts if you guys need them for any reason. They're going to be expensive like all Supreme shorts, but I don't know why I'm always so hung up on Supreme short prices. It's just something that is tough for me to be like, yeah, I'm going to pay $128 for these or whatever they're going to be. Olives aren't too bad. Partial drop list has them at $138. I said I wouldn't look at it, but I can't help it sometimes, okay? I'll give it an upvote. All right, next up, the big logo nylon shorts. Indeed, we have a big old logo on these fellas. These are pretty cool. I think these will do okay this week, actually. Even though they're pretty far down the list, Supreme doesn't make a whole lot of shorts every season, even in the summer. And with the big logo stretching around the back, I think these are okay. Maybe the colorways are a bit lackluster. Like I would say probably the best is black, and then this navy and purple embroidery. Speaking of embroidery, that is cool to see on the big logo nylon shorts. Okay, the Vanson Leathers Chore cotton canvas made exclusively for Supreme. I don't know how one of you guys discovered this, but someone in the comment on my community post said these are no longer being made in America. I have no idea the validity of that claim. Someone said they zoomed in and saw made in China. So apparently Vanson Leathers, the very renowned company for being made in America, is manufacturing in China. Who knows how long that will last, but I think these are pretty cool. They're very avant-garde, maybe not so much, but for Supreme's sake, they are. They remind me of racing leathers. I do love this patch here with the big Supreme box logo on the back pocket. I think my favorite colorway would have to be probably the light ones right here. I think these are the most wearable. These ones are too contrasty, and black is pretty wearable too, but it doesn't have the same vibe of like two different colorways of denim on top of each other. Estimated price is $368. Who freaking knows? I need that full drop list. Come Come on, Supreme Drops. Next up, the Damien Hirst short sleeve shirt. We are returning back to the shark and the sheep, or the ram, whatever we're calling it. I think it's a ram because it's got the horns. But yes, the week 1 items of the Damien Hirst collab are coming back in new form with this short sleeve button-up shirt with a repeating pattern. I think this shirt is fairly decent, but there's a lot going on here. Patterns lately haven't done super well, especially this type of repeating pattern. I could see the shark one potentially selling out, but I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of resale. If you want a better idea, I would check all the previous Damien Hirst stuff that came out for week 1, see how it's doing on the secondary market, and that might give you an estimate for how this short sleeve shirt will do, but it's going to be tough. I don't love it, to be honest. Estimated at 148. We'll see what it ends up being. I'm going to give it a downvote, to be honest. Look at this. We did the AOI video yesterday, and we're getting the AOI nylon bomber jacket this week. Water resistant nylon flight satin twill with fill, of course. It's got a rhyme. Faux shearling lining and quilted taffeta sleeve lining, full zip closure with snap handwelt pockets at lower front, utility pockets on sleeve, interior chest pocket, that's nice, faux fur collar with a rib knit cuffs and hem, embroidered logo on freaking everything, original artwork by AOI. I think this bomber jacket is somehow gonna be sleeper item of the week. Is that stupid to say, guys? It's downvoted so far. I think I can put it there. If not this nylon bomber, then it's an item coming up in the next few, but I like this thing a lot. I like the trauma unit. To be honest, I've been watching a ton of police body cam videos recently, which are absolutely crazy, and get the canine sicked on them. It's fucking nuts, boys. Let me tell you, those dogs, they know how to get, and they do not let go. I think this is super dope. The trauma unit font is cool. You got a phone number down here. You got Resursa, Sabotaggio, Eliminare, Latin. We got search, rescue, eliminate. Love that. Definitely makes it even cooler. Black colorway is by far the best. A very, very warm jacket for spring, summer, I will say. So I wager this thing is gonna be sleeper item for one reason alone. And it's one of 2 sleeper items this week, okay? It's one of 2. Because it's gonna be so warm to wear in May, people aren't gonna wanna bust this thing out until the fall. By that time, it's obviously sold out. So if you didn't get it now, you might regret it later. If you wanna rock this thing in the winter, consider copying it. Hopefully it's less than 368, but it's AOI here. Let's be real. Next up, the Damien Hirst soccer shorts. I think these are fire. I love a good big graphic soccer short. I think Supreme makes some fantastic soccer shorts that are actually worth it. The ones that I've been using for pickleball and other athletic activities, boxing in the gym for well over 2 years now, and they've been holding up very well. I definitely recommend looking at the sizing. I am like a 31-inch waist, so a small has always done me well, but just check up on previous Supreme soccer short sizing so you guys know what you're getting. I got a medium on my last pair and they were just a tad big. It's fine. So you can get probably a size up if you want a little bit more length on them, but analyzing which one's better, people seemingly have just been going more for the shark. It just is the more popular animal out of the 2, but both look pretty cool. I think the ram with the gold 5 is nice. The red and the aqua little Liverpool speck on the shark is a bit better looking in my opinion. We're gonna give that an upvote there. Next up, the leather applique 6-panel. Totally forgot this hat existed. You could have told me this is a fake Supreme hat and I would have believed you. It's not too bad. Got kind of an Ed Hardy Y2K vibe here. Some paisley patterns. Could be a nice sleeper hat. I don't know. I love when they do these 4 colors, especially in these dark muted washed tones, the dark maroon, black, and navy. And then the bright colorway is the off-white. I think it's a cool hat. Wouldn't be copying it for me personally, but I dig it. Next up, the next sleeper item of the week is the worn hooded Chore coat, Japanese washed cotton canvas with hand applied distress treatment and button front closure, patch pockets at lower front with dual top and side entry. I'm talking front, bottom, side. We are attacking from all angles, folks. Button patch pockets at chest, brushback fleece hood, which just means polyester and cotton with embroidered logo. Made in Japan, baby. Estimated price is $248. It's gonna be way more than that, sadly. It's just my gut feeling, but here's the Chore coat. I think this is sleeper item of the week, along with the trauma unit. This is more of like the true sleeper. It is upvoted a bit higher. I think people are gonna go after it. It's an amazing piece. What can I say? The hood might not be for everyone, but typically when they've done these half trucker, zip up or button ups with a hood attached patched, they end up doing fairly well. And I think this blue denim one with the camo hood, it's clean. Same thing with this. I could cop this and it could match my Jamie Thomas Rourke jeans. It's pretty much a direct match with that off-white cream color. Black is pretty nice too. It's tough for me though to buy this right now in the springtime in Arizona. I am also really trying to save money, and I definitely don't need this Chore coat, but I can absolutely appreciate it. So while I'm probably gonna pass on it this week, if you guys want this thing, cop it. Take some fit pics so I can live vicariously through you. That's one of the best things about having a YouTube channel about Supreme. I get to look at cool fits all the time, and it helps the addiction a little bit. Next item. Well, we had the shorts, now we got the jersey. It's jersey season, boys. Poly jersey, unfortunately, but original artwork by Damien Hirst is nice. You get the classic Supreme soccer look. What else is there to say? These red accents on the shark are a bit bold here, especially with yellow. Lots of colors happening on this shark jersey. I don't know how I feel about it. We do get the 5 Hirst logo. Also kind of reminds me of a Target. You guys get that vibe from it too? A bit of a crosshair. I think the sheep might take the cake here, or the ram, golden ram. Bit of purple, which feels different, but this looks to be better colors. Mostly black jersey. I'm not in love with the Damien Hirst stuff, to be honest, but I know a lot of you are. It's not the best soccer jersey of all time, but hopefully it'll still do maybe okay. I really don't know what to say about this one. Middle of the video, we get the news. I am so freaking pumped. We got Supreme Doc Martens to talk about. We're just gonna throw it in right here, because why the hell not? All right, boys, Supreme has worked with Dr. Martens on a new version of the Penton loafer. The shoe features a smooth leather upper with metal studs, co-branded footbed, and airwear cushioned sole. Made exclusively for Supreme, the studded Penton loafer will be offered in 3 colorways. Available May 22nd, available in Asia May 24th. Let's freaking go, dude. Here is the first picture. We've seen these before. It's the black studded pair of Doc Martens. Very cool fit. I'm liking the vibes on the plaid trousers. Super sick. Even this jacket, dude, is dripped the fuck out. We have a red pair as well. Ooh, what are we feeling about these Docs, guys? Man, I used to not get it, but now I do. I think the studs are pretty cool. I certainly think these are gonna age very well. Not loving the greens, but man, get them if you can this week. I think they're definitely going to be worth a cop. They're under 200 bucks pretty much every time. So here they are, the Penton loafer. Black is easily going to be the most sought after, which makes sense. It's that classic Doc Martens colorway. Green, not terrible, but not the one I would go for. I think red with the studs. If you're going to go bold, you're going to go with the color, go for red. Here they all are. In terms of a Doc Martens and Supreme collab, consider this maybe a bit on the lighter side. It is studded, so that is fairly different from what Doc Martens does on their own, but it's not revolutionary like color changing or some crazy pattern. I do think this blends the line of wearability and Supreme uniqueness. It's not so toned down that no one would go for it, but it's not absolutely crazy that people feel like they can't wear it. So I think it's a really good match. Looking up close and personal with it, maybe a bit too many studs for me personally, but what do you guys think? Are you going after these Penton loafers? I say consider picking them up if you want to switch up your footwear a bit. You feel like you don't have enough pairs of nicer shoes or loafers, bit of a menswear rock and roll style here. But I think they're super dope, especially the red and black colorway. And I think as soon as these get put on the drop list for community, I think people are really gonna dig them, but we will have to just wait and see. All right, next up, a good accessory, the SOG Mac V tool, which is a compact stainless steel multi-tool, which includes a pry bar, bottle opener, small and large flathead driver, small Phillips driver, line cutter, blade sharpener, these wrenches, and 1/4 inch hex bit driver, and it's 2.5 inches by 1.5 inches by 0.05 inches. A cool multi-tool, interesting shape. It looks like a face, but I assume you can use these holes there for grips with the finger, but there's the line cutter, some hex bits. I mean, it's not the most comprehensive tool of all time, but for 24 something bucks, it's not gonna be that expensive. Throw it on your cart if you want some free shipping. I'd say the red one is way more collectible than the gray one. If you're a hardcore multi-tool fan, I guess grab both. do what you want. All right, we're keeping it old English here with the printed sweater. And man, I feel like we're just getting a ton of old English stuff recently, and maybe they need to dial that back. Sounds weird to say, but feels kind of true. Big sweater, I like the chunky knit. I think one of these colorways will sell out because sweaters continue to be having their run. The black and white sweater will be a good match for the beanie that came out earlier this season. And this mossy oak camo just hasn't been doing well, so I would not go for that one. Purple and red doesn't look horrible either. And I don't know why we have the picture here. We don't have the individual picture of this sweater, but that is okay. You can see it right there. Not too bad at all. Gonna be like 140 something, 168 on the partial. Let's keep it rolling. Damien Hirst Rosenthal tray, set of 3. So you get all 3 ceramic trays with printed graphic, 4.5 inches squared. There it is. Recommend hanging this up on the wall, but you can use this for eating if you really want to. I don't think most people will use it for that. This is certainly more of a decorative set, but still you're absolutely able to use this for eating. Rosenthal trays I think are pretty expensive. $300 is that estimated price. I could see it maybe being slightly less, but it looks expensive. Very cool design though. I think this is the best Damien Hirst stuff that's releasing this week by far, because it really takes the shark motif and makes it look like an aquarium. It truly is art, and I love sets of different items. Like we saw the skateboard from the Ernie Barnes stuff that did well. Set of 5. This set of 3 tray, really unique stuff, cool to put in your house. Love some good home goods. W, Supreme, and Damien Hirst. All right, boys, straighten your posture. All right, crack the neck, drink some water. You guys are falling asleep on me here. Let's lock in on the double knee painter pants, Japanese wash cotton canvas. Pretty much the same thing as the Chore coats, but they're made in Japan. And these are double knee painter pants yet again. These are super sick. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I need to get a pair of double knee painter pants eventually. One of these days, I'm gonna stop putting it off, because goddamn, these are dope as hell. I would love to skate or die in these bad boys. I actually love the different colors. I don't mind the green either. Rare to see that from Supreme. Maybe these could be hidden gem. Brown ain't too bad either. The light khaki, pretty clean. I have a pair that's that. It's about that colorway. I just in love with this light wash for the summer. It just gives me those summer vibes. I like that it's a bit lighter in the knee area. And then of course the black denim for people that just can't stop listening to Korn, Metallica. If you listen to rock and roll music, you have to wear black. It's just a rule. Love these a lot. Estimated price $228. I'm going against everything I said at the beginning. Fuck it. I like to have at least a consideration of the price, which is why I think people get a bit bent out of shape when Drops changes the prices with the full drop list. Like, he's at least giving us his best shot. These are gonna be above $200. No discount for them being worn. God dang it. Top 3 items according to Supreme Community. Number 3, the leather applique zip up hooded sweatshirt. It's going along with the hat, and I think I remember this from the preview, but man, that was a long time ago. It looks like the hat, nothing special for me personally, but I do see why people like this, I guess. A bit hodgepodge with all the different appliques, but people certainly do love their appliques, embroideries, and the like. Colorways are not the same as the hats. We don't have this blood red at all. We have the more muted tones on this, but it does match. I want to say black is a bit better than red, because something about these appliques looks a bit cheap on red. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't know. Number 2, the Supreme Damien Hirst zip up hooded sweatshirt. For some reason, we only get the shark on the zip up. Did we already get a ram by itself for week 1? I don't know, but it has Supreme on the back. I think this will do pretty well. It is the original artwork. It's not altered. It is exactly what the Damien Hirst art was. The shark aquarium. Thankfully, there's actually no Supreme logo on this, which I think would have been a bit much, because one thing about this collab has been definitely brand heavy, and I guess I'm being hypocritical here. It's Supreme we're talking about. Even if they did have the Supreme logo in the back there, it probably wouldn't be terrible. People would know what it was right off the bat, but I just like that they're going with just the artwork and then Supreme on the back. I think that works perfectly fine, and there's enough Supreme Damien Hirst logo labels on the other pieces. I think we're gonna do fine. And then of course, the last item, but certainly not the least, I've seen it probably dozens of times in this video. It's the Vanson Leathers Cordura cotton jacket. Now I don't know if this is made in China, and quite frankly, I think people care to a certain extent. Like, we all want to say we'll support Made in America, but do we actually? I don't know, man. I think if this is a good price and it's on the website, people are going to go for this really sick racing jacket. Is it the best Vanson Leathers stuff we've gotten of all time? Definitely not, but in terms of a muted pattern and material dependent piece, I think it's dope. You got the leather, you got the cotton denim, a lot of stitch work. You still have the badges, not too crazy. You got tonal here, Vanson Leathers patch on the shoulders. I love that it's matching and it's symmetrical. There it is. If you guys can't see that, Made in China on the tag right next to the American flag. That is very ironic, especially with the trade war stuff going on right now, which is on pause, thank God. But man, L Vanson Leathers, L Supreme, I can't lie and say that that's a good thing. If it's a company made in America, it should be made in America. But I think if this is going to be $560 versus $900, is that the price difference versus made in America versus made in China? I don't know, but it's definitely more expensive to make in America, which for this type of item, I think makes sense. It is for that higher tier Supreme customer that wants to spend more money. This is not for your average Joe Smo or your average Timmy who wants his box logo, right? This is more fashion focused. In terms of the jacket, I think the black colorway is super dope. Would be sick to wear this on a motorcycle. Don't know why I'm getting that vibe, but I am. Tons of pictures as well. Vanson on the back. I'm losing my voice a bit. What do you guys think of this thing? I think the black jacket looks the best. And then the pants, I gotta go with this white colorway. That's kind of how I feel. All right, boys, that is gonna do it for Supreme Week 13. Man, oh man, got some pretty decent items here. In my opinion, this is much better than last week. I can absolutely get excited about AOI bomber jacket, worn hooded Chore coat, sleeper items of the week right there, some soccer stuff, the return of Damien Hirst and some artwork, Vanson Leathers with a bit of Made in China controversy, but what are you gonna do? That is going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. What are you going after this week? If I had to pick a personal item that I would go for to cop this week, it would probably, in all honesty, be the double knee painter pants. That's what I would go for. Maybe the Chore coat to hold for a bit of a resale opportunity. I think in terms of other items that are going to resell, Vanson Leathers cotton jacket is a good bet, along with the Damien Hirst zip up hooded sweatshirt. I think at $188 estimated price, that's a pretty good deal. I think the biggest potential this week will be on the Vanson Leather stuff, with potential later on down the year, the AOI bomber jacket sneaking up on us. But that's about it. Let me know what you're copping down below. Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for future videos this week with a big Supreme review on the road to 5K. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.